Hello everyone and welcome to my YouTube channel PB's Lessons. My previous video was on Buddhism. Today I'm going to cover the remaining part of the same topic. If you find the lecture helpful, please do subscribe, comment, like and share. So let's begin today's lecture with a Buddhist art and architecture. The mid-first millennium BCE, or roughly 600 to 500 BCE, is regarded as a turning point in world history because various philosophers or thinkers emerged across the globe, like Zoroaster in Persia, that is today's Iran, Socrates, Plato, and Aristotle in Greece. Socrates, Plato, and Aristotle in Greece. And Lord Buddha and Vardhaman Mahavir in India. So in my previous video, I had discussed about Lord Buddha. The remaining portion I'll be covering today. And in my next video, I'll cover Jainism. As far as Buddhist art and architecture is concerned, so the main structures of Buddhism are stupas, chaityas, and viharas. I'll begin with stupas. Stupas, what are stupas? Basically, they are mound-like structures where the relics related to Lord Buddha and other Buddhist monks are kept. These relics may be a piece of jewelry or maybe a piece of cloth or even a strand of hair. So these stupas, they date back to say 6th century BC, but the biggest of the stupas were made during the Mauryan period during Ashoka's time. So by the 2nd century BC, a large number of stupas, including those at Bharut and Sanchi in Madhya Pradesh, had come into existence. And Sanchi stup was discovered much later, that was in 1818. And surprisingly, it was found in very good condition. Like the entire structure was intact, along with its four gateways. One gateway had fallen, but it was there at the means it was on the ground, but in good condition. So let's discuss in detail the various parts of a stup. Now, this is the mound-like structure which is referred to as und. Here at the top of this mound is a balcony-like structure which is called harmik. At the top you can see chhatri kind of thing. So they are called chhatris only. And there's a mast at the center, a pole you can say, which is called yasti. So yasti is the mast and the umbrella-like structures, they are called chhatris. Then you can see this path which is medhi, and it is for circumambulation. So वो चक्कर लगाते थे इसके चारों ओर क्लॉकवाइज डायरेक्शन में. सो मेथी ये पाथ है और इस पाथ के किनारे जो छोटी सी फेंस होती थी, इट इज कॉल्ड वेदिका. And the gateways of a stoop like this one, they are referred to as torans. People usually entered from the eastern gateways. Like in Sanchi, there were four. So people used to enter from the eastern side. Now, the next important structures related to Buddhism are the Chaitya halls. So, Chaityas are basically the Buddhist halls of worship. Right. So, here you can see this is an example of Chaitya hall. So, at one end of this Chaitya, you can see a replica of a stoop. So, they are also referred to as Dagoba. Dagoba is basically a term used for stupas in Sri Lanka. तो दी स्तूपास को डगोबा भी बोलते हैं. और यहाँ पे क्या होता था, जो उनके हॉल्स ऑफ वर्शिप होते थे, तो यूजुअली मोनास्ट्रीज वगैरह के अंदर जो पूरा कॉम्प्लेक्स होता है उसके अंदर चैत्या हॉल्स भी होते हैं. And the most famous chaityas are present at Ajanta, Ellora, Nasik, Karle. So Ajanta, Ellora, Nasik in Maharashtra, they have the finest examples of chaityas. Now, next we come to viharas. Now, what are viharas? Viharas basically refers to Vihar is basically a place where the Buddhist monks they live and receive education. So, in fact, the word Bihar has originated from the word Vihar because basically Buddhism started from Bihar, right? So, it was Vihar and gradually it became Bihar. Now we come to the Buddhist statues. Yeah. See, initially Buddha was worshipped, like various symbols were used to represent various phases of his life. Right. So these statues of Buddha became popular with Mahayana form of Buddhism. Here, initially, like, empty chair was used to represent Buddha in meditation. But when Buddhism got divided into Hinyan and Mahayan during the time of Kanishk, the fourth Buddhist council, so Mahayan was the faction of the greater vehicle, right? And Mahayans referred to the other faction as the Hinyan or the lesser vehicle. Though the Hinyans, they referred Hinyans, see, they called themselves Theravadins. Theravadins. So Hinyans, they call themselves as Theravadins, means those who followed the path of all respected teachers called Theras. Theras is a term used for all respected teachers. So Hinyans call themselves Theravadins, that is those who followed the path of the respected teachers. So see, Hinyans do not believe in idol worship. They do not believe in idol worship, which started with the emergence of the Mahayana faction. So, like Mahayans were, this faction was patronized by the Kushan ruler Kanishk. Right, so fourth Buddhist council which was held in Kashmir, and with that the statues of Lord Buddha became very popular. So probably Buddha was the first human to be worshipped in idol form, and this statue is from the Gandhara school of art. So Gandhara school of art produced the first statues of Buddha. This school of art flourished in Gandhar, you can say, like the border between Pakistan and Afghanistan. So, this school of art was basically influenced by the Greco Roman style of architecture and sculpture, we can say. So, this school of art showed influence of the Greco Roman style. As can be noticed in the features of Lord Buddha, his curly hair and the thick drapery here, the folds can also be observed. Right. So this started with the Mahayana faction. Now, next I'm coming to Buddhist literature. So, Buddhist literature includes the Tripitakas, the scriptures of Buddhism, and Tripitakas are mainly divided into three parts: Sutta Pitak, Abhidhamma Pitak, and Vinay Pitak. Sutta Pitak include this is about the teachings of Buddha. So, teachings of Lord Buddha, right, they are included in the Sutta Pitak. Abhidhamma Pitak is about philosophical matters. And Vinay Pitak is about monastic discipline. So the rules and regulations related to monastic discipline are present in the Vinay Pitak. Then the Jatak stories. जातक स्टोरीज भी बड़ी पॉपुलर हैं, हम सब ने थोड़ी बहुत पढ़ी होती हैं बचपन में. सो एनिमल्स के फॉर्म में, लेकिन हमें कुछ मॉरल लेसन्स देके जाती हैं. So basically, these Jatak stories are about the holy men Bodhisattvas. अब ये बोधिसत्वास क्या थे? It is believed that, Buddha was born as bodhisattvas in his previous births. So bodhisattvas, this term is used for holy men, and it also refers to Buddha in his previous births. So these stories are about the previous births of Lord Buddha. Then we come to the work of Ashwaghosh. Ashwaghosh was a famous scholar in the court of the Kushan ruler Kanishk. So his famous works are Buddhacharit, Mahalankar, and Sondaranand Kavya. Now, Mogaliputta Tissa, see, in my previous video also, I had discussed about Mogaliputta Tissa. He was the one who presided over the third Buddhist council, which was held at Patliputra under the patronage of Ashoka. So, see, Mogaliputta Tissa is known for his outstanding literary work Kathavathu, right? So, which was written during Ashoka's time. Then Nagarjun, another famous scholar who probably lived during the time of the Satvahana rulers in the Deccan. So Nagarjun is known for his philosophy of Shunyavad or emptiness. Then I come to Nagasen. Okay, yes, the famous work Milind Panho. Milind Panho actually is a record of the question answer session between Nagasen and Milind or Menander. Menander was actually an Indo-Greek ruler. So he had several questions. Indo-Greek ruler Menander or Milen. So he was, seeking answers to various questions, and he had a long question answer session with Nagasen. And Milen Pano is a record of that question answer session. And at the end of this, Menander converted to Buddhism. Then we come to Kumaraji. Now, Kumaraji, what is he known for? See, Buddhism from India, like India is the country where Buddhism originated, but then it spread to other countries from here. And it became more popular in other countries because gradually it declined, the popularity declined in India, but it became very popular in some other countries like Sri Lanka, China, and the countries of Southeast Asia. So in China, Kumarji played an important role in, popularizing it. He converted many Sanskrit Buddhist texts into Chinese. Initially, Buddhist texts were written in Pali language, but like in the fourth Buddhist council, they decided to translate many of those into Sanskrit. And then Kumarji translated many of these Sanskrit Buddhist texts into Chinese. Now, the famous Buddhist works related to Sri Lanka are Deepavamsa and Mahavamsa. Now, Sri Lanka was the first country outside India to adopt Buddhism. Sri Lanka, which was earlier called Ceylon. Right. So basically, Deepavamsa and Mahavamsa are Sri Lankan works on Buddhism. They throw light on Buddha as well as on the relations between India and Sri Lanka. And India was such a famous center for learning, uh, like related to Buddhism, that scholars from various parts came to India in search of Buddhist texts and scriptures and to gain knowledge, like Fayan and Huensang. Fayan during the Gupta period and Huensang during the time of Harshvardhan came to India in search of Buddhist texts. Now, the important centers of Buddhist learning were Takshila, which is now in Pakistan, Nalanda, Vikramshila and Udantapuri in Bihar, and Vallabhi in Gujarat. Now, I come to the causes responsible for the decline of Buddhism in India. See, one of the main reasons was that gradually there was dilution of certain monastic rules and regulations. So it lost its charm for the people. Then various factions emerged within Buddhism. There were several. Some people say that there were up to 60 factions, small factions within Buddhism. Then next one is probably the use of, gradually they started using Sanskrit. So which could not be easily comprehended by people. Initially it was Pali, a language of the common masses. Right. And perhaps another reason for its decline was the revival and reform of Vedic Brahmanism. Because, they tried to bring about certain reforms within this, like within Brahmanism, so that they could stop people from moving out or, adopting or converting to other religions. So, this is it. And thank you so much for watching. My next video will be on Jainism.